This for the football. For the city and the back roads. Got a whole county full of them goats. All from the football and that goat. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah. So let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva. Them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Primetime Valley. We from the football chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcons. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewood got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating those dragons who run the whole city. You wildin'. And they really bout it, yeah. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them, yeah. And Connie, I flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot, ain't a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the football. This for the football. This for the football.
What is up, everybody? Sam Torres here. It's Wednesday night, so you know what that means. It is the 440 Sports Show Primetime Edition. And all right, we got sound. We got to make sure that's going first. But as the song says from the theme song, shout out to St. John. They be balling like Harden. That is what we are going to happen. We are going to have tonight a St. John player in Will Anderson who's going to be joining us tonight, and he really did ball out like Harden. I'm going to bring up my graphic here in just a moment, but I got to tell you, we had a stat update, and his stats are even more impressive than what I actually kept track of. Not very good at keeping track of the stats and calling the game at the same time. So I got updated on that very shortly after the game. It was an incredible outing for this young man. First win of the year for St. John. Now, not everybody had the weekend that they wanted. That's for sure. But St. John most certainly did. And without further ado, we're going to bring to the show this week's Week 3 Player of the Week for the 440 Sports Show. The man, the myth, the legend. We got Will Anderson joining us on the show. Will, what's going on?
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. I'll tell you what, that was a heck of an outing. We're going to show those stats right now. You go out there, and according to the card, it says you had 5 receptions for 175. But I spoke with the coaches and the stat takers at the end of that game, and your updated stats are incredible. 11 receptions for 223 yards. Will Anderson, what was going on in that game?
Yeah, so we were all pretty excited, and we were watching film, and coaches were telling us everything, what to do, and we had a good week of practices, but we started off not good. We didn't start well, and we didn't score the first quarter. And started the second quarter bad too. We were down 9-0, but we found it. We figured it out, and we scored 3 touchdowns back to back, and kind of shut them down. And going into half, that was a lot of confidence for us. And we started the second half, and actually they scored, and it was an 8-point game. And we were kind of nervous, but I knew we were all pretty good to go, and we scored 2 and had an interception, and it kind of sealed the deal. So it was fun.
Yeah, you talked about the week of practice, and I wanted to go with that a little bit as well. The first 2 weeks, you guys had a tough start, I guess is one way to put it. Not the start anybody wants to have. You guys were playing some bigger teams also in Trinity and Wycliffe. But you have a rough couple of weeks. What was different last week going into that game on Saturday that you could see?
Yeah, so, like you said, we had a tough 2 weeks, and we were all pretty upset about it, and we were really focused that whole week of practice. It sucks. We were sick of it. So it was just the confidence level that we had going into that game. I knew we were going to perform well because everyone was just so zoned in, and it was just really, really good to see everyone looking good and feeling good about themselves. So
Yeah, with playing on a Division 7 team like St. John, obviously the numbers aren't super high. You know, you guys are rocking right around like 19 to 21 guys on the team. So it's one of those where you know your best athletes, guys like yourself, are going to be on the field a lot. And we're going to get into offense just here in just a little bit. But, you know, you're obviously a two-way starter playing defense as well. The run is something you guys actually struggled with for the first 2 weeks. And not so much in this one. A little bit there in the first quarter, you guys kind of got your butt in gear and started stopping the run. You know, what was going on with you on the defensive side this week? How was it? Was it just starting to slow down for you, or were you just getting to the guys quicker? What was going on?
Yeah, so we started the game in a cover 2, and our coach saw it all, and we went into a 4-4, and I was seeing the defense well, and I was reading guards like I'm supposed to, and at a linebacker, you just got to pay attention to the linemen and what's going on in the backfield. So, yeah, I could see it all moving pretty well, and had a few nice tackles and was pretty confident. And you have a nice tackle, and it's up from there. I mean, it feels good. You're feeling good. You know, it looked good, and it just keeps coming. So.
Yeah, you start to build that momentum once you start making those big plays. I think a lot of people put a lot of weight on the offensive side of the ball, and obviously it's fun to score touchdowns, but I don't think there's anything quite like getting a big tackle, shutting down their best when you're going out there. You know, you talked about some of the big plays that happened on defense, and we can't talk about the big plays on defense without talking about your lone senior, Hank Wagner, going out there getting 2 big sacks. How did that jump up the defenses this week?
It was electric. You know, Hank, he's a quiet kid, and he doesn't say much, so you see him go out there and have a sack like that, and it's just like everyone's hyping him up and getting him excited, and seeing him happy it's a good feeling for everyone. So I was happy for him. It was fun.
Yeah, so, you know, as we just said, Hank is the lone senior on the team. Now, you guys have a pretty big presence when it comes to the junior class this year. You know, guys like you, Ryan, Sully, Vin, you know, the list goes on and on. The junior class, pretty big, pretty athletic over there at St. John. But you guys moving in from that sophomore year to junior year, some of the things kind of change. Whether it's leadership, whether it's the younger guys looking up to you. What were some of the things that you saw that have changed from that sophomore year to your junior year?
Yeah, so a lot of guys respect you, and we have a lot of freshmen and sophomores on the team because we're a smaller team, and they just look up to you. And only having one senior and Hank being a little quieter, all of us really came together, and we were like, come on, we got to get on these guys. So we were holding everyone accountable, and I mean, you show them respect and they'll show you respect. And we just have to stay on them and make sure they're doing their best, and things will turn out well. So.
What were some of the things that you kind of focused on in the offseason, getting ready for this year? You know, you're a great athlete. That's well known. That's well documented. But every great athlete has to work to continue to be greater. What are some of the things you wanted to work on to make sure that Will Anderson was going to make a mark this year?
Yeah, so I actually went to a speed and agility training in Euclid with Max Stevens. He's the head football coach at Cleveland Heights and played in the NFL for the Jets and the Vikings. He's a really nice guy, and he knows his stuff. But yeah, I went there, tried to get faster. I went there for baseball, actually, to work on my 60 time, trying to get it quicker. But yeah, I mean, it translates right into football, and, you know, everything getting quicker. So that helped a lot. And I stayed in the weight room consistently throughout the whole winter and summer. It's really important. I was just trying to gain weight and keep putting on muscle and getting stronger. You can't be too strong. You can never be too strong. So that's huge. And eating food is important too. You got to make sure you're doing that just as much as you are the other stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, God bless your mom and dad for trying to keep that refrigerator full, man, because I don't know how they do it with a growing kid like you in there. But, you know, you talked a little bit. You touched on the fact that, you know, you do play other sports. You're a multi-sport athlete. You know, this YSN is not new to you. You've been the player of the week, player of the game a couple times over there in baseball. With that baseball, you talk about the stuff that kind of translates. Other than the speed drills, what are some of the things you kind of picked up in baseball that you can carry right into the football games? Especially when things aren't looking great.
Yeah, it's easy to lose confidence in baseball. I mean, you fail more than you do good. You hit 300, and that's a good batting average. So yeah, I'm used to that failure, and bringing it right into football. I mean, you do something wrong, it's easy for you to bounce back, and you have that mindset that you're ready to go, even if it's not going your way, and you are consistent with your approach and everything you're doing, and your work ethic has to be pretty good to continue. So it works out together. It's good.
So, I got to ask you, you're a baseball player. I've watched you pitch. I've watched you throw guys out from shortstop. I've seen the arm. You guys put it on full display against Beechwood out there. You throw a double pass, and you didn't throw a 12-yarder. You didn't throw a 20-yard, 51-yard dart. Where did that come from? Is that pitching, or what do you got?
If I'm being completely honest, I'm not 100% sure where that came from. I throw the ball in practice and everything, and it's like it's moving this way, and it's not right. And yeah, I just caught the ball, and I really wasn't thinking about it. I just let it go, and I guess that's what happened. So maybe I should do that more often. So, I really can't tell you, but I was really thankful it worked out because it was a nice play.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, defenses are going to have a nightmare because between your ability to throw the ball, Narducci's ability to throw the ball, and both of your guys' ability to run when you guys get the ball in your hand, whether it's a quick screen, a slant, or whatever, Narducci's passing has improved exponentially this year. We're going to see that when the leaders come out here very soon. I think it definitely is giving you guys another weapon this year, and it was very cool to see. It definitely caught me off guard. I almost lost my voice when you threw that pass. It was absolutely incredible to get to watch. And shout out to Coach Bento and Coach Delgosh for having the guts to call that one, right?
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely a huge momentum swing for you when you guys get that through. But, another question I like to ask you guys, every single game matters. You guys got a 10-game schedule. They're all going to get, a great deal of effort. But there are some games that get a double circle. There are some games that when that schedule comes out, you're like, that's the one. What's one of those games that kind of popped out for you?
Yeah, well, every year it's Fairport. St. John and Fairport, we've been doing it for a while. It's good competition. We just like playing them. It's competitive. So every year it's Fairport. So
it's gotta be. I'll tell you what, this Fairport St. John rivalry is something that I've learned over about the last 10 years because I didn't know it was as deep as it was. But you guys really get up and get set up for that one. So Will, when you guys are taking the field, right, this year, when Will Anderson's on the field, the Heralds are on the field, what are some of the things that people can look forward to seeing out of you and this team?
Yeah, our offensive line is really working hard and trying to give Vin more time, and we've been doing better at it, and it's obviously working, but they got to keep it up. And another thing is yards after contact. I like that. I like seeing it and everything, but I think it's really important. If you can have 5 yards after contact or break a couple tackles, that's really important. And I think we're pretty solid at it, me and Ryan, and even Vin. We run hard, and it's fun. So.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Ryan Williams is a guy you just mentioned. He's definitely a yards after contact guy, not a guy I was surprised by because, he's so strong. I'm pretty sure if he wanted to, he could squat the building. But I got to give a shout out to Vin. Vin has really hardened that nose and got busy this year. And you as well. You've always been a tough kid, but we're starting to see a little bit more toughness out of you this year too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's what I got. You guys are heading over to Steubenville. Obviously, it's going to be a tough one for you guys. What are some of the things you're going to be focusing on this week?
Yeah, they're a tough team. We need to keep our focus and keep our momentum in the last game carried into this game and still have the same confidence we did. And we got a nice long bus ride to think about it. So we're looking forward to it, and it's a nice stadium, and yeah, we're just looking forward to it. It should be fun.
Listen, you just want the propane coming out of that horse's nose for you guys, not for them. That's what we need. It's a 2-hour ride. Will, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. Absolutely phenomenal week. Congratulations on going out there and really getting the job done. Looking forward to seeing how you guys are going to finish this season, and pretty sure you'll be back on here soon because baseball season's right around the corner.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you a lot. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Will Anderson, our player of the week this week, and I'm telling you, his stats this week were absolutely off the charts. I don't know what I'm sure the receiving record at St. John is pretty high. They had a young man by the name of Donnie Lagoni years ago who was an absolute monster at wide receiver. But, Will Anderson was really kind of coming in on that record on Saturday. And it was fun to watch. I had the pleasure of actually calling that game, and there was a difference. There was a difference that you saw on this team. There was some confidence that they didn't necessarily lack, but they found, halfway through that game. And, the defense really steps up. They're making some stops. And Beechwood has a running back by the name of Martez Pinckney, who was really a phenomenal running back. The kid could hit the edge. He was you're not bringing him down on the first tackle type of guy. They have a quarterback by the name of Larry Clark. He was a great one for them. He gets injured in that game. They have a young man by the name of Jacob Thomas who steps into the game and just starts throwing darts. So it wasn't like St. John goes into that game and is not getting tested. They were able to build a lead after being down. You think about what a safety does to the psyche of a team. And I'll do you one better. Not only do they give up a safety, but on the punt that followed the safety, Martez Pinckney returns that punt for about 71 yards for a touchdown. So you know that a lot of teams at that point, they're going to start doubting themselves. Not the Heralds. They pulled it together. They get their offense together. They win this game. It was really just a fun game to watch. You could see, it was a different team out there playing. It was really fun. While we're doing that, let's go ahead and jump into some of the other results from last week. Now, remember, everybody, you can find all of these results as soon as I get it pulled up. Excuse me. You have to deal with me wiping the sweat. I ain't got central air down here in the basement, so it's hot down here today. Here we go. You're going to be able to find all of these results on www.ysnlive.com, and you're just going to click the scores button. Let's go through some of these results from the games on Friday, September 1st. You had Austintown Fitch going 35-3 over Glen Oak. Caldwell goes 49-7 over top of Wellsville. East Palestine is going to fall to Bridgeport in this one, 25-32. The Battle of the Valley over there in Pymatuning Valley, for those of you who are not aware, this is a rivalry game between Andover and Orwell. This will be a rivalry game within the conference next year, as Grand Valley will be leaving the CVC and joining the NAC for the 2024 season. This year, the Pymatuning Valley boys, the Laker guys, are going to get the best of this one. It's 30-0, all Lakers in that one. Liberty is going to go 31-40 against Lakeview. And let me tell you what, guys, this is a game you should be watching right here. Liberty has a really tough start against Edgewood, and I think people were starting to wonder how good was that Liberty team. Well, let me tell you, Lakeview is the real deal. So for them to go out there and only lose by 9, I think that's something for people to keep track of. I think Liberty is on the upswing, and I think that win that Edgewood got early in the year is looking better and better. Lakeview is going to get another win this week, as unfortunately Warren JFK's varsity team not going to be able to field a team this week. Injuries and illness is going to take them out, so it's going to be a forfeit. Lakeview going to get the win 3-0 coming up this week. This is one that really caught me by surprise. Olmsted Falls going 42-14 over the reigning state champion Canfield Cardinals. This was the game I picked Canfield to win. I was very surprised that Olmsted not only won, but won by such a large margin. Really, a good game for Olmsted Falls. I think Olmsted Falls is actually one of the teams that is picked to go pretty far into the playoffs this year. So another team, start keeping your eye on those Bulldogs in Olmsted Falls. Warren JFK and South Range. South Range, the defending state champion, coming off their first loss in like 3 or 4 years against a very good green team. They're going to win this one handedly, 41-3 over Warren JFK. Southern Local, 52-22. They're going to win that one. Huge win for them. I'm not really surprised. The Southern Local, that was actually the night they were electing new members into their Hall of Fame. So, you want to go out there and you want to show off the goods, right, when you're elected Hall of Fame guys. This was another game I got to cover personally. Cheney and Boardman. What a great game this one was. You'll be able to watch all of these replays over on ysnlive.com. Just type in whatever school you want to see. The games are going to be right there. Cheney and Boardman, 21-13. Boardman just could not get the offense going. That Cheney defense is one of the fastest I've seen. I know I said that last week about LeBray, but Cheney is definitely one to keep an eye on. A lot of penalty yards in this game, though. Cheney repeatedly shot themselves in the foot, something like 135, 145 yards in penalty yards, but their defense was able to kind of clean that up and get right back to Boardman. Columbiana and Western Reserve, you got the Blue Devils going 28-6 to win that one. How about this one, folks? Edgewood and Harvey. Edgewood 48, Harvey 18. Now, I am going to show you guys at the here in a little bit on the show. Edgewood has another big dog of the Valley candidate. It's going to be Tony Hall, who threw for 377 yards and 6 touchdowns. Unbelievable night for that young man. Following it up off of a Player of the Week performance the prior week. So he's going to be out there again this week for a big dog of the Valley. 6 touchdowns, folks. Harvey, a very, very good football team. I think people are starting to realize that this Edgewood team may be for real. Now, they've got a tough one up against them this week against a 2-1 Hawken. So this is another test that they're going to get about midway through the season. One of these teams to keep an eye on, but Tony Hall is an absolute sharpshooter. You've got guys like Anthony Hunt who are killing it. Zachary Carlton Hull, who is a monster. Jacob Ernst. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Edgewood, a very, very talented team, and they made sure it was very well known on Friday, 48-18. Hubbard is going to go 28-14 over Howland. Waterloo 26-16 over David Anderson Lisbon. You got East Liverpool still undefeated, folks. 28-0 over the Salem Quakers. Jackson Milton goes 50-6 over the Wyndham Bombers. Edison is going to go 40-7 over Minerva. Once again, guys, these scores are available on ysnlive.com/scores, or you just click scores right on the screen. This is the best way to keep up with scores on Friday nights is because we've got all of our guys out everywhere. We're doing a constant update on scores. Your home for Ashtabula County sports is ysnlive.com. Brookfield, the Warriors going to go 26-12 over Valley Christian. Conneaut, the boys get it done again, 33-15 over Independence. Poland wins a big one here, 49-13 over Firelands. Jefferson, not the start that they wanted this year, going 0-3, heading down to Beaver Local down there in, I believe it's Lisbon. I could be wrong, but 43-0 for that one. The Falcons trying to, get it together. They did lose a lot. This is a team that's trying to kind of figure out their identity. Still early in the year, still a lot of football to be played. McDonald is going to go 26-6 over Campbell Memorial. Southeast is going to go 33-20 over Champion. Normandy is going to fall to Garrettsville Garfield 52-13. The G-Men are somebody to watch. If you're not watching, check them out. Again, all their replays are available right here on the website. Cardinal Mooney is going to fall to the Big Red in Steubenville 14-21. Starting off at the top here, you got Struthers 48-7 over Brookville. Crestview is going to fall to United 35-14. Girard 43 and West Branch. This was one of those games I think a lot of people were trying to keep their eyes on, as the winner of this game will most likely be the winner, or at least competing for the regional championship. Lakeside heads down to Youngstown Ursuline, and it wasn't pretty. This was a game I knew Lakeside was going to have to get really riled up to play. Ursuline is a next level football team. These guys their eyes are on the state championship, and nothing's going to get in their way. Lakeside's got the talent. They just couldn't get things going on that one. It gets away from them early. Ursuline puts it on them 50-0. Niles goes 34-0 over LeBray. And here's one that a lot of people were watching, and unfortunately, not a lot of people were watching here on YSN. But that is something that got fixed, and I'll talk to you about that a little bit after the scores. Geneva goes 21-14 over Springfield. Youngstown East is going to fall to Villa Angela St. Joseph's 42-6, and Mineral Ridge 42-6 over St. Thomas. And going over here on Saturday, you're going to have St. John getting 38-24 victory over Beechwood. Hoban 34-6 over Trinity. And Newton Falls 12-7 over Matthews. So those are your scores from this weekend. It was a great weekend of football. What can I say? I mean, we're at week 3 now. I do want to let you guys know that unfortunately last week we were unable to broadcast the Geneva Springfield game. The folks at Springfield, a great group of folks, who have embraced YSN since the very, very beginning. We're not very happy with that. And although we can't fix the past, we can definitely move toward the future. And I am very, very happy to tell you guys that for the rest of the season, at least, when Geneva plays a YSN team at Geneva, we will be there and we will be broadcasting. That includes the games: Geneva versus Edgewood, Lakeside versus Geneva, which is a big one to me personally. As you know, a couple years ago, we commissioned a trophy between these two teams, the War for 84 trophy. The Battle for Route 84 is what they are going to be playing for there. Last year, Geneva able to get the trophy. The first year, Lakeside was able to keep it. It's a trophy. It's a rivalry game. The two biggest schools in the biggest county in Ohio. That's going to be right here, as we will be traveling as Lakeside's primary media. I'm very, very happy about that one. And then also Geneva and Jefferson. I think that's another matchup that people have been wanting to see for the last couple of years. And you're going to be able to see that right here on ysnlive.com. And although Geneva is still not a signed school with us here at YSN, I at least have some solace in saying that when they play our YSN schools, the ones that have signed the media agreement with us, we will be able to at least broadcast those games. So for all of you parents over in Geneva, while we can't cover you as a home game, as a home team, I am at least a little bit happy that we can bring you guys some coverage, because they got a great group of kids out there. Not just a great group of kids, they got a great group of parents. And it's a school, it's a district, it's a bunch of people out there that I definitely have a soft heart for. It's been a very hard pill for me to swallow personally, to not be able to provide that coverage to those athletes that deserve it. You know, you've got this great class of seniors. You know, you've got Gio Rice and Kenny Young and Luke Smith, and those guys who are coming out there and really laying it down every single week and putting out performances that are really ones that we should be talking about. And I wish it was something we could spend some more time on this show, but eventually, fingers crossed, that's going to change one day. And one day the Eagles will have a home right here on YSN. And when that day comes, I'm going to be very, very happy, and get ready for the bells and whistles, because you guys got a heck of a football team this year. That's for sure. And again, any questions that, as to why we can't cover and that sort of thing, you got to talk to the administrators, the superintendent, and they will answer those questions for you guys. But again, fingers crossed, one of these days that's going to change, and the Eagles are going to get their due. And I do believe that it is their due. All right, folks, I am going to go to our first set of breaks, and this is a point on the show that I want to remind everybody that we're looking for some sponsorship right around here, looking to run your advertisements right here on YSN. I don't have the numbers for football season yet, but I can tell you that going into this year's football season, 9 million views on ysnlive.com. You want to talk about the best value in regional advertising, this is it. This is your home. And if the advertising isn't enough, this is a great way to help out kids from your area. Everything that we take in goes right back into the product. It goes right back into promoting all of our kids, well, all the way from the Mahoning River to Lake Erie. We've got you covered right here in between, baby. It's a great way to get your product out there, your business, and again, help kids in the line. If you are interested in getting your business on YSN, that is to run in as many games as you want. You can go regional. We got lots of packages for you. It's a great, great value. If you're interested in it, contact me on any of my social medias. That's 440 Sports Page on Facebook, 440 Sports Page on Instagram, 440andgoal@gmail.com. Feel free to email me. You can go to www.ysnlive.com. You can go under the advertising spot right there. It'll get you all your details. We want to work for you. We're looking to I would love to get some Ashtabula representation on these games on Friday night. A lot of great advertisers on there right now. So, we've always got room for more. So that's something, if you've got a business or something you'd like to promote, reach out. We'd love to get you on here and show everybody in Northeast Ohio what you've got. All right, we're going to go to our first set of breaks, which is going to start with our friends over at Toyota of Warren. We'll be right back.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
Now you can see every school, to the smallest school, to the intermediate schools, to the schools in the outlying areas. It gives you coverage that you could just never get to before. It's something that's great to experience, and it's opened up a whole new wave of sports viewership. The possibilities are endless here at YSN. Push the envelope every day. Try something new. If it works, great. If it doesn't, well, let's try another angle, and we just keep moving forward. My name is Mike Ackelson, and my sports network is your sports network.
What can you do on over 5,000 acres? At Mill Creek Metro Parks, you can discover unique habitats and wildlife, create memorable family moments, experience history, heritage, and park programs, explore scenic landscapes, take time to relax and be well, connect with nature and each other. Come see what's new at Mill Creek Metro Parks. Plan your trip now at millcreekmetroparks.org.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means taking care of our local customers.
And it's just a great feeling to put them in a vehicle and get them all excited about a new vehicle.
At the end of the day, our goal is to be someone our customers can count on.
And every day I'll go the extra mile for the community so they can trust us.
To do anything that would convenience the customer or make them feel more at home.
Realizing, number one, that we're here for them and that we're not going to go away.
That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
All right, everybody, welcome back. I'm going to take this time on the show, and I am going to put out a personal challenge to the fans of Ashtabula County football and the fans of Edgewood football. I'm going to show you guys how to do something right now. Now, this week, we have Ashtabula's own Tony Hall, who is up for the Big Dog of the Valley. We're going to bring this on screen. As you can see, you go to ysnlive.com. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go even bigger. We're going to make this the primary screen. You guys don't even need to see my face. Hold on a minute. If I learn what I'm doing, that'd be great. All right. You go to ysnlive.com. If you look over here on your cursor, there's a little column that says Big Dogs of the Valley or Big Dogs. We're going to click on that. You're going to go down. And at the bottom, you can vote for your volleyball players as well. But down here at the bottom, you're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excuse me, 6 guys that are going to be up for Big Dog of the Valley. This is a vote that you can do over and over and over again. As many times as you can vote is as many times as it will count. And this is how simple it is. You click his name, you click vote. Right there, there's already 2,903 votes on there. Oh, and you don't think one vote was enough? You click refresh. You can vote again. And you can keep doing this until Ashtabula gets its first ever Big Dog of the Valley. This is a huge award right here on YSN. You got 68 schools that are vying for this award. 2 weeks in a row, this young man has been nominated for this award. He needs the votes. He needs the support. www.ysnlive.com. Go to there. Go vote for Tony Hall. 377. 377 yards that kid threw for. 6 touchdowns against a very good Harvey team. If that's not worthy of a Big Dog of the Valley, I don't know what is. But the power is in you guys. Hey, Warrior Nation, you guys are loud. You guys are rabid. You guys show up. You guys pack the stands. It's time to pack the votes. Get out there and give Tony Hall a chance. I would love to see. I don't know if I can do this or not, so I'm not going to guarantee anything. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to figure out something special. If we can get one of our Ashtabula kids on this award, I'm going to do something special. I don't know what it is. We'll figure it out. I'll figure out what I can legally do. I don't know if I can give them food or whatever, but it's time to get Ashtabula on the map right here on ysnlive.com, baby. Get out there, vote for the young man. Do it as many times. Do it until your thumbs fall off. I want to see Tony Hall to be the #1 vote getter this week. The power is in your guys' hands. www.ysnlive.com, Big Dogs. Now, let's get into the football leaders from this week. If I bring it up. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as I was just talking about him, up for a Big Dog of the Valley, he takes up the top spot here in Ashtabula County as our top passer. 7. Now, I want to let you guys know there are 3 weeks. We've only played 3 weeks here. This kid has thrown for 712 yards and 12 touchdowns. Only 1 miscue. 12-to-1 ratio. That is absolutely insane. Get out there and support this kid. Tony Hall, the Edgewood Warriors. Let's get him a Big Dog of the Valley win this week. But it's going to take a lot because I'll tell you what, they got schools down there, Poland and those guys, they vote. They vote and they vote and they vote some more. The question is, can we do that up here in Ashtabula? I've always pride myself on the fact that we can do anything we want up here. So let's do this. Let's make a statement right now. Make Tony Hall the Big Dog of the Valley for this week coming. Vin Narducci is coming up next here in this one. 686 yards for him. 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Sammy Goforth, no touchdowns right now. 5 interceptions, 242 yards though. Ryan Croston is 187 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Alex DeSalvatore, again, a tough game against a very tough team in Ursuline, is going to come in next. 178, 1 touchdown to 4 interceptions. You got Max Gleason, who's on here, 1 touchdown to 2 interceptions, 155 yards. And Cage Bozar, we're still waiting on some more numbers actually to come in on the Jefferson boys. When those come in, I'm sure he's going to pop himself further up on this leaderboard. Right now, 92 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. One of the cool things you're going to get to see is pay attention to Max Gleason, because he's at this spot on this one. And at the top spot when it comes to the rushing yards, the quarterback from Conneaut, 60 carries, 562 yards, 4 touchdowns for that young man. Right below him, the Payne for defense himself, Wyatt Payne, 53 carries, 378 yards, 5 touchdowns. Cage Bozar still up there in third place, 38 carries, 352 yards for NASCAR. And that is 3 touchdowns for him. Devin Miller, 45 yards, 299 yards and 2 touchdowns. Again, coming off of a tough game against Ursuline. Great numbers for him. Ryan Croston, 50 carries, 277 yards. And you've got Ty Vickery, 57 carries, 277 yards. Both of those guys for PV are going to have 4 touchdowns. And then at the bottom, or rounding out the bottom of the list, I will say, is going to be Zeke Lucas. He's got 24 carries for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hard to get rushing yards when you got a quarterback who's throwing for like 1 million of them. Tony Hall really stealing the show over there. And our player of the week, Will Anderson, Big Willie style, still the top dog on the receiving end. 20 receptions, 444 yards, 6 touchdowns. This kid, incredible. Absolutely incredible for him this year. It's been a year. Jacob Ernst, 13 receptions, 249 yards, 3 touchdowns for him. Zachary Carlton Hull is going to be he is going to be 6 receptions for 164 yards. Jose Rivera, RJ Jose Rivera is pumped right now. SJS, I'll tell you what. Yeah, really representing on the offensive side, that's for sure. Anthony Severino, he's right on here too. 2 wide receivers in the top 5. 5 receptions, 142 yards. He's got 1 touchdown. Anthony Hunt with 7 for 139 and 1 touchdowns. And Robert Rogers, 7 receptions, 111 yards. Still looking for that first touchdown there, though, over there in Grand Valley. It's time for the defensive boys, and it's Zeke Lucas at the top. 36 total tackles for him. Seth Enos right below him with 33. Ty Colville, 26.5. Nate Bartone, when he is not toting the rock, he is keeping you from getting yards. 23 tackles there. Oh, Will Anderson, we talked about the kid's receiving ability. He's right here on the tackle side too. 23 tackles for the kid. 23 tackles for the Herald. Ryan Williams is tied with him with 23 tackles. And Bryce Sperlin over there at Conneaut, 20.5 tackles. Going TFL. Yeah, Ryan Williams, it's going to be a race. Keith Corlew getting on there. It's going to be a race to see who's getting more tackles, him or Will, at the end of the year. TFLs, Zeke Lucas is going to be at the top with 7 of them. Seth Enos is going to be right next in line with 6. Ty Colville with 6. Mason Thor over there at Edgewood, he's got 5. Nick Wyman, Mikey Bisbee, Patrick Fagan, all 3 Edgewood kids, all 3 of them with 3 tackles for loss, and Scotty Edwards with 3 of them. Let's go to the next one. And we talked about the lone senior over there at St. John, and Hank Wagner is now tied for first with 2 sacks on the year. He is tied with Zeke Lucas of Edgewood, Mason Thor of Edgewood, and Ryan Turner of Conneaut. Also, 10 other players in Ashtabula County with 1 sack. Defense has not been a problem for our Ashtabula County teams. And we've got ourselves a new interception leader, and that is that young man, Anthony Hunt, over at Edgewood. He's got 3 of them already this year. Behind him is going to be PV's Alex Simon, and Hunter Brott grabbed 2 in 1 game, and that's going to tie him for second place this week. We have 11 county players with 1 interception on the year. It has been a year. It has been a pretty good defensive year here for the Ashtabula County kids. The stats are I got to compare to last year, but I think they might be better this year than last year even. Unreal. All right, and let's move over. Hold on. I got my little thing here. It's time for volleyball. All right, everybody. And this is this week's volleyball leaders. Now, these are the stats that have been made available to me. If they are not 100% accurate, I apologize. I'm just going off of what I've got. Edgewood and St. John are just throwing it all over the place this year. That is for sure. And with the receivers like that, Jose Rivera says Edgewood's still the team to beat. You're right. With the receiving guys that they've got, you know, you look over on the Edgewood side and you've got guys like Anthony Hunt and Jacob Ernst who are absolute killers out there. And over on the St. John side, you got Anthony Severino, the sophomore, and you got Will Anderson, the junior. Good luck covering those guys. Give those quarterbacks a little bit of time, and it is a bad night for you. Back into volleyball we go. The Lakeside Dragons with a record right now of 3-4. They go 2-1 last week, defeating Warren Harding and Cardinal, taking a loss to Howland. Your stat leaders this week, kill count, is going to be Andy Milkovsky with 18, Tess Collins with 7 aces. Your blocks leader is Peyton Woodring with 3. Your digs leader is Tess Collins with 43. And your assist leader is going to be Addie Warner with 33. The Edgewood Warriors with a record of 6-2. Now, this is for the week of 8/29 to 9/5. They go 2-0 last week, defeating Maplewood and Madison. Faith Venzel is going to be your kill leader with 63. McKenna Venzel is your ace leader with 18 aces. Faith Venzel, 19 blocks, is going to be the team's leader. McKenna Venzel's digs, 175. Whoa, out of this world. And then as if that's not impressive enough, Gianna Iannetta goes 193 on the assist side. The Edgewood volleyball team is really, really getting the job done. Also getting the job done is going to be the St. John Heralds. They're going to go 2-0 last week, defeating Bloomfield and Wyndham. Gabby Johnson, she is going to go 62 kills. She's also going to be their ace leader with 20. Izzy Holler is their block leader again this week with 10. Diggs, Gabby Johnston again with 100. And Lizzie Ducro, 141 assists. The Jefferson Falcons, who are 6-1 right now, they went 2-1 last week, defeating Grand Valley and Perry, taking a loss to NDCL. Your stat leaders are your kill leader is Chloe O'Rourke with 74. We got a new ace leader this week, Marilia Matuz with 12. Abby Cotton is their block leader with 9. Sarah Stone is your dig leader with 65. And Helena Edgar with 148 assists. Conneaut Spartans, 4-1 record. They were going to go 2-0 last week, beating Andrews Osborne Academy and Girard, Pennsylvania. Their kill leader this week, Kayla Farley, with 40. Kayla, I believe it's Farley. If it's Fairley, please forgive me. Ace leader is also Kayla with 14. Bella Fix is their block leader with 9. Kayla Farley is their dig leader with 71. And Lexi Brown with 65. Grand Valley Mustangs are 3-3 right now. They finished the week last week with a record of 1-2, defeating Pymatuning Valley and losing to Jefferson and Crestwood. No stats available for them last week. And Pymatuning Valley with a record of 2-6. They go 1-2 last week, defeating Maplewood and taking losses to Badger and Grand Valley. Unfortunately, no stats available for them right now. We'll get those up here as soon as we know them. Like I said, guys, when it comes to the stats, it's just the stuff that I have available. That's all I can report. I can't make anything up. So that's a big one. Let's jump right into, real quick, just go back through the results from last week. You had Lakeside losing. Actually, that number is wrong. It should be 38-0. I think it should be 50-0 to Ursuline. You've got Edgewood going 48-18 over Harvey. Conneaut winning over Independence 33-15. Jefferson going to fall to Beaver Local 0-43. St. John, that's wrong. That did not get updated, so I'm going to take that right off the screen. Sorry about that, folks. But we will talk about the ones that are coming up this week, and these are accurate. That much I can tell you. Lakeside is going to, if you look on this screen, everybody is playing away this week. It's a weird week for Ashtabula. Lakeside is heading to Orange. Lakeside 1-2. Orange 2-1. Orange has a season. Lakeside can get some points here, can kind of knock the dust off and really, shake it off and get right back into their season this week by getting a big win over Orange at Orange. Edgewood 3-0 taking on Hawken at 2-1. This is one that everybody's going to want to watch here. I think this is the one that people are wondering if, is Edgewood going to be able to carry it through to a team like Hawken? Harvey was a game that I think a lot of people thought if they can beat Edgewood, that's how they're going to turn it around. Hawken is going to be their first true test of the year. Conneaut 2-1. They're going to be playing at Chagrin Falls, who's also 2-1. This has game of the week vibes to it. Conneaut is really starting off strong. Chagrin Falls has started off strong again this year. Somebody's leaving that game 3-1, and the other one is leaving 2-2, and we're going to see who. Jefferson is heading to Perry, and this is one of the games you're going to see. You're going to hear me and Ray Torado on the call this week. This is a tall one. This is a tough task for the Falcons. The Perry Pirates are coming off of what I believe is the biggest win in their program's history. Last week, they are able to get a win over. Last week, they were able to go get a win over Kirtland. The first loss around in this area for Kirtland in forever and ever. And Jefferson has started off not the way they wanted to. If you're going to turn your season around, this is the game to do it. It's very tough. It's very tough. St. John at 1-2 is going to be heading down to Steubenville, and they're going to be playing in the big stadium with the big horse that breathes lots of fire. We'll be at that one as well. 1-2, St. John at Steubenville's Catholic Central. Not Central Catholic, Catholic Central, who is 3-0. PV is going to be 2-1, taking on Rootstown, who is 3-0. And Grand Valley and Beechwood. Grand Valley's 0-3, Beechwood is 0-3. I am mark it right here, stamp it. You can call me out on my stuff next week. I know I'm not supposed to make picks till Friday. I'm picking the Mustangs to beat Beechwood this week. This is going to be the game that they're going to get their first win of the year. This is where they turn it around. Give me the Mustangs in this one. Once again, all of those games, guys, are going to be available on www.ysnlive.com/live games. It's one of the greatest things I think that we yes, sir. Mustangs by 1,000. DJ Yoakley in the building, and he's calling that one. This is their week. Grand Valley, this is your week. Get out there and practice your butt off. I'm talking about Bobby Rogers, the Grasshopper, a bunch of touchdowns. Sammy Goforth, he's going to have his touchdowns. It's going to be a game. Make sure you're watching it, and it's going to be available right here on ysnlive.com, your home for Ashtabula sports. The questions are never, is the game streamed or where is it streamed? It's always the same answer. Yes, and on ysnlive.com. And it's one of the things I'm so proud of, and one of the things that I'm so excited to be able to promote and get going out here. And with the help of YSN and all of the guys that we have on our team, we are able to give these kids memories that they're going to be able to keep for the rest of their lives. That is why this is so important to me. That is why I have never stopped. That is why I work so tirelessly to make sure that this happened. And it's a great year. It's a great year. So that's all I got. I'll tell you what, I feel like I've been on a soapbox this whole show, but I just want to take a moment here and remind everybody that, everything we do here is because of help from viewers and businesses and the schools that take 99% of games are on YSN. And that's right. That 1%, it'll be here sooner than later. It'll be here sooner than later because the right things will always prevail. And it's one of those things. Every kid deserves that spotlight. Every kid deserves that exposure. Every kid deserves somebody who's going out of their way to tell them how great they are and how all of their work is worth it. And that's what we work for here at YSN. That is what I try to do with these shows, the 440 Sports Show. And it's something that, almost everybody in the county is getting in. I really believe in my heart of hearts that one day everybody in the county will get. But like I said, right now, silver lining for some of the Geneva parents is there'll at least be some. As YSN teams play there, we'll be there. So when they play Lakeside, Jefferson, Edgewood, we're going to be there. We will be there. Not as a home team, not yet, but I'm taking what I can get right now. My firm belief, my firm hope is that one day everybody in Ashtabula County is going to be given this opportunity for exposure. You all deserve it. I said to Anthony yesterday, WKBN game of the week is biased for Canfield and Poland this week. I can name 6 other games that are a benefit for a specific game. I'll tell you what, both of those games there's a lot of great games. It's week 4, and that's what we see happening. When week 4 comes, that's when we start to see these records shake out. And my favorite thing is when we release the top 25 on YSN, because we absolutely get marshmallow roasted every single week. But let me tell you, it ain't us. The math is the math. The math ain't mathin'. Then you got to change the way you're getting the math. The points are going to tell you where they need to be, right? Thank you for showcasing so many. I appreciate you guys. I really do. It's been a dream of mine for years, and this year is as big as it's ever been, and it's only going to grow from here. And I'm really happy to be a part of it, and I'm excited at what we've got in the future. It's going to be a fun time. So to all the schools, to the 7 schools that have taken on this, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I will always work tireless for you. For the one that hasn't taken it yet, our day will come. We'll get together here sooner than later, and your kids are going to get the exposure that they deserve. I'll tell you what, that is going to be the end of the show. I want to thank everybody for tuning into this one. My name is Sam Torres, and this is for the 440.
This for the 440. This for the 440. For the city and the back roads, got a whole county full of them ghosts. All from the 440 and that gold. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah, so let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva, them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmettunin Valley. We from the 440 chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcon. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewood got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating those dragons who run the whole city. You wildin'. And they really bout it, yeah. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them, yeah. And Connie, I flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number 1 in that spot, ain't a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the 440. This for the 440. This for the 440.